A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out my friend too.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it. Hello, my overthinker. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are good. My name is George Mokwena. This is the Overthinking Football Show, a show where we speak about local and African football. I can say that now, African football. If you do want to be part of my panels, I do have panels where you can add your voice to the show and you can jump in and we can have conversations. You have to be following me on TikTok and then join me while I'm live on TikTok for you to come in and then we can have a discussion. The show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. during Afcon, and then Fridays at 12:30. The show the breadwinner, the people that put money behind this platform. We have a WhatsApp group where we discuss all of these things in depth. It's through the night, through the day. We're just going back and forth, banter and everything. If you want to join that WhatsApp group, it is available on YouTube. You have to go to the YouTube page, the Overthinking Football Show, subscribe, click on join, and then the cheapest level is 20 Rand, and you'll gain access into the WhatsApp group, and we'll be able to have some back and forths, and some people here are already trying to get me. Yeah, guys, I just arrived. Okay, so obviously there's only one thing to discuss. There's only one thing to discuss today. It's something that nobody thought was going to happen, or very few people thought that was going to happen, and even those guys said it as a joke. Bafana Bafana has beaten Morocco, and we're through to the last eight quarterfinals of the Afcon 2023. You can't say you believed it. I can't say I believed it. But now that we're here, I'm there. And just to start us off, I wanna go through some things that were said, man. I wanna go through some things that were said. Bafana Bafana won't qualify for Afcon.
Who cares?
Yeah? Bafana Bafana can only beat Eswatini.
Who cares?
They said Bafana Bafana can't even beat Rwanda, can't even beat Lesotho. What type of team is this?
Who cares?
They said when we qualified, we're not going to make it out of the group.
Who cares?
They said that Bafana Bafana is not just that good. Last 16 would be overachieving.
Who cares?
Then we saw that we were going to play in Morocco. Yeah? We're going to play Morocco. And people said, whew, look at that lineup.
Who cares?
They said it's players from just the top European leagues. How is Bafana supposed to beat this team?
Who cares?
They said they're number 1 in Africa. They said that they're number 13 in the world. How must we dream of beating this team?
Who cares?
This is all the things that people have said. They said last time we played in Morocco, Morocco had already qualified for the Afcon. Therefore, the win we played and we won versus them doesn't matter.
Who cares?
These are all things that were said, guys. These are all things that were said. We're going there for a holiday. We're going there to make up numbers. People like me, I'll include myself, questioned some of Bruce's tactics after we lost to Mali. But this Bafana Bafana team is showing that they are there for a reason. They are there to win. They are there to play.
We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more.
We have to win more. Look. On a serious note, I like what Bruce said in his press conference. I can't play the press conferences because I get copyright strikes. But essentially what he said in his press conference was that he needed time to make this team. He said that South Africa has a lot of critics, people that have been telling him criticizing his choices for players, criticizing evidence. He says he had confidence in, things that happened in SA that he knew better than. He knew what he was doing. And can we fight that Bafana Bafana knows what they're doing? Hugo Broos has a 50% win rate. I believe it's 50%. It should be a little bit higher now. He comes out and tells us that tactically, guys, we have to play a little bit different in all 4 of the games we've played in the Afcon so far. The first game, he told us, Guti, no, I played your football. And we saw what happened with your football. We saw that I sebenzi. And I tried it. We lost to Mali. Then we played a not so beautiful game when we went up against in Namibia. Transitional. Hey, if you play Morocco this way, you're not going to win. We beat them 4-0. We went to Tunisia, played for a draw and got a draw. Now we came out versus Morocco, and in Bruce's own words, it's 2 teams that were afraid of each other. Can you imagine that? A team that is number 1 in the continent, number 13 in the world, is scared of number 12 on the continent, is scared of number 66. Over the past few months, Nami, I've had a come to Jesus moment where I've started to realize that maybe, just maybe, South African football at different levels with different teams is not as bad as what we think it is. Maybe other teams come and play South Africa and they have to be patient. They have to be a little bit defensive. They have to be scared. This Bafana Bafana team was not meant to do any of what it's doing right now. It's not meant to do any. Hey, I'm alive. Where even I myself, I spoke about the players. I spoke about the people he chose. I spoke about how they approach games. Are they tactically better? Are they this? Are they that? Are they that? Are they that? When he says critics, I count myself as one of them. But results don't lie. Which is another thing that he said in that press conference, that results, I have to get the results. I knew that there were going to be critics and I had to get the results. It's nice to hear him say that. But the results don't lie. When last did we see a Bafana Bafana team do this? When last did we see a team actually, the way Singa believing, guys, there was load shedding yesterday. The Springboks played the last knockouts games of theirs. There was no load shedding. You don't see thank yous from big corporates because there was no belief in this team. And now they've gone out again and showed us that, hey guys, we can do this. And maybe we should believe in them. Let's go to the game. Morocco versus Bafana was not what I thought it was going to be. In my head, I thought, if there's any team in the Afcon that can punish you, that can punish some of the tactical mistakes we've made, it was going to be Morocco. Morocco came out and attacked our left-hand side, as we thought they were going to do, and it held strong. Even though they get tibang at times, they couldn't score. The stats tell us that they had 13 shots in Morocco, 13 shots, as opposed to our 5. And they only got 2 on target, just 2. We got 3 on target, actually, on our side. So that tells you of a team that had a little bit of control, even though possession says 54-46. They had a little bit of control. A lot of our players were missing Abo Zwane because of things that we had chosen to do in the match. But now I'm starting to be a believer where I go, maybe those things are meant to be done. Maybe you saved the beautiful football for the World Cup. Hey, Morocco? Maybe you saved the flowing, fast, all of that nice, pretty football. You save it for the World Cup. When you come to Afcon, it's scrappy. It's ugly at times. And maybe that's the lesson, the big lesson that we need to take as South Africans. He spoke about how South Africans, there's something, man, there's that little element that we need to add to our game or to our understanding of the game. And that is, guys, you can't win beautiful all the time. You can't play people off the park. Not all the time. And we won scrappy. That's what you need to do at an Afcon. It's going to come down to one goal that was bundled in. It's going to come down to a mistake. And you'll find that a lot of the games that we've watched up to this point, a lot of the teams were just not wanting to make the mistake. And that's what we saw yesterday. Morocco had 425 passes versus our 386. Our pass accuracy was 86% versus their 87. We had 17 fouls versus Morocco's 12. What does that tell you? 33 fouls in a game. That's African football. That's African football now. That's what we need to play. That is how you win. That is how you progress. And in an Afcon of a lot of shocks, or Egypt going home, or Senegal going home, it was about time that we got our own in. The goals, of course, were scored by Umahoup on the 57th minute, scored by Mokoena 90 plus 5 after Amrabat had gotten a red card. I also just want to drive home the point that they had people from PSG, Ashraf Hakimi, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, West Ham, Marseille, Valencia, Leverkusen. They had people from Wheathead. They had people from Pyramids. Well done to Bafana Bafana. So guys, I'm going to open up now. Please remember that you have to be following me in order to jump in and have a conversation. Before I say that, I want to urge everybody, guys, this is the time to support them. Let's let the happiness, the joy, let's let the compliments be as loud as the disrespect we gave to this team. I disrespected this team. And I want to stand here and say they did what needed to be done. They did what needed to be done. They did things that we didn't believe. From the Mali game that we lost, when we played about Tunisia, people didn't believe which we could get past Tunisia. People didn't believe that we could go to Morocco and win 2-0, clean. Yes, there was a penalty miss. We'll discuss that. But let's show them the love that we showed other teams that we say we're only to. I guess as South Africans, we always say we only love teams that win. The Springboks win, therefore we love them. Let's start showing the same love to the other teams that are performing. Banyana Banyana performs. Bafana Bafana is performing now. So for all of the hate we've sent them and all of the messages and all of the social media things and the complaining and everything we've done, now is the time for us to put aside our little differences. No, Bruce. Bruce, you know, guys, is not my favorite person in the world. He's not. He's not my favorite person in the world because of his mouth. He says things at times. But he's got the results. This team may not be the team that we called for. People are calling up Aboloch, Abokajisa Mayo. All these different players that maybe should have gone. And whether rightfully or wrongfully, this is the team we have and this team is doing well. So let's show them love. Let's go out there and let's harass them, man, with our love. Let's put aside our petty differences. I've seen people come out and speak about very negatively about this team and speak about how people need to be fired and all of that stuff. All right, guys, can we put that aside? Can we put that aside and just support this team now? Okay, you didn't believe that make it out of the group, they made it out. You didn't believe that made it past the last 16, they made it through. Surely now, our requirements have been met and maybe now we can support them. Anyway, guys, remember, you have to be following me. Let me open up. I want to give them their flowers. I want to give them their flowers. But we are going to have some in-depth conversations here. So remember, you have to be following me in order to request, and you have to join me on TikTok. Those who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, TikTok is where it's at. So let's see. There's a button at the bottom of your screen, guys. It says multi-guest on TikTok. Click on that button, request, I let you in, and let's have a conversation about this here team that has done something, man. That has done something. Okay, let's see. While I get people in, let me just read some of the comments. Okay. I'm gonna go past those first ones. Hey, we're doing good. Danko says Divine. Pega says Morocco. Balaegile. Sundowns carrying the whole. Bona GT. Yeah. Bafana going to win this Afcon, says Uncle K. Pega says I knew it was happening. The Afcon is ours. Fellow South Africans. Yeah? Who cares, guys? Who cares? Honestly speaking, I was one of them. We must rally behind them as we did with the Springboks, says Tembinkosi. Morocco found out where the airport is, says Bega. Let's see. So does Zwane become better than Doctor if he wins Afcon? Hey, Nazo. Nali agent would have been loyal to Bafana Bafana, ke proud to. They said Bafana Bafana was going for an excursion, but who cares? I have always supported Bafana. Me, I told from day one that we're winning Afcon. You did. I'm bored by that Nigerian guy who thought Bafana Bafana is just a walkover. He's probably dirtying his pants wherever he is. Hugo Broos always comes top of critics. Truly speaking, South Africans are nice striker. Tebza, how are you doing, my brother?
Hi, I'm good, my man. I'm good. I'm happy. I read it.
Huh? Yeah. Man, tell me, what did you think about yesterday's game?
Oh, yesterday's game, man, was okay. It was okay. You know, these games are okay. The only objective is one. Just get a win. Just win. So if we're going to focus on playing pretty football, guys, let's just be happy ka win. But never tell pretty football. You understand? Are they happy now? They are not. They're angry. We are playing footballers, but then look at us now. All smiles. All day long, you understand?
And we even have transition and what. Sometimes I don't even understand what they're saying. I say, hey, this guy's a top. I mean, just win the game, guys.
Just win the game, James. Just win the game, man.
Exactly. We are at that point now where we just want to win games because we've been at the bottom of the bottomest, my man. We are in a drought. When last did we win something, my man, as a footballing country, Bafana Bafana, and let's leave banana. You understand? As Bafana, you understand? So let's congratulate our spoiled brats, Buffet. This is our spoiled Bafana, and we love them. That is why we go to Tata. So you understand? So but even though mistakes, football is a game of mistakes, tactics, and all that. We don't nobody weakness. We strong mode. You understand? So it's how you adjust to situations gaming, but then otherwise I'm happy. Like a mentality to Bafana no. I'm happy.
Very quickly, Tebza, are we willing? Because I'm just going to ask you a straight question quickly. Are you willing? Are we now going to be willing as a South African public to start understanding this ugly football thing we need to win, or are we still going to have these fights?
No, we need to understand, Hore. Sometimes you have to win ugly. You have to check your players and is this football giving me what I want? Are the players the right players to play how we want to play? You understand? If they are not the right players, you know, as they say, the coach doesn't make the system. The players make the system. It's about who you have. You understand? On a level man, can they play that football that you want? You understand? So currently, whatever Bruce does, guys, let's support him. We are at that point.
Okay.
Pretty or ugly, a win is a win.
Okay. Shout out to Piri Jokes. Hey, that man is a legend on these streets. Thank you for the gift. Velile Kolani, thank you so much for the gifts. Richie, Do you guys do Skomot on that side? Are you still overseas?
Hey, I'm back, OT. It's good to be back on this platform, man. It's good. We share the Skomota dance this side. We are very good in it.
How did you see the
Especially
game,
when
Richie?
we win, we are very good. We are
Hey, at
very
least
good, especially
there was
when
another
we
dance we were doing in another Afcon, but let me not go there. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
No, OT, man. You know what this game reminded me of? It reminded me of, was it the 2019, 2020 or 2021 season of Kaizer Chiefs under the coach Ernest Middendorp when we were playing helicopter football. Yeah, beautiful football doesn't win you games, or it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win a game.
Yeah.
You understand? And one thing that I have learned under our coach Hugo Broos, I'm not a big fan of him. I just feel sometimes he's a bit arrogant. But one thing I have learned from him is that big names doesn't matter in football. Players that play for the badge, players that play for the badge or the name in front and then the name at the back afterwards. What I saw yesterday was soldiers that represented their country, soldiers that fought a life and death fight. Those guys played their hearts out. OT. I just want to praise one player. Please allow me to praise Motobi Mvala. Whether he conceded a penalty, but without that guy in that defense, we are nothing, my brother. Yes, Kekana played well, but he was playing in the shadow of Motobi Mvala. The guy protected us. The guy played his heart out. Yes, the whole team played well, but for me, I give it to Motobi Mvala.
And Richie, are we willing? Are we going to be willing at any time soon as South Africans to accept this quote unquote ugly football?
You know, OT. If you watched the Rugby World Cup and you watched the game against France and you watched the game against England, our boys didn't play well in both of those games, but they won. Now I have a saying that says that it doesn't matter how you play, but if you get the result, that's a championship team. That's a championship team. These boys are proving to us that they are willing to represent us and they are willing to play for their nation. They are willing to bring back the happy days. I don't want to go to our neighbors and say we are the happy people, but at this point we are the happy people. We are happy.
No, thank you, Richie. Let me bring in Agent, my brother. The man who believed until we got to the last day. Agent.
Yeah, man, the believers, the original believers. I think for me, firstly, how are you, man?
No, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I'm not one of those people that will hold the grudge. Yay, Maru Prusmela. They did what they needed to do.
Like Hugo Broos said, only a foolish man doesn't change his mind, right? You know, so he also changed his mind. So you're allowed to change your mind also, you know, as people. I think that's one thing that I think that's one thing that hurts me, that okay, fine, you wanted something is not done. Would you rather be right and Bafana lose? Or you'd rather be wrong and Bafana win? You know, who's gonna remember that you are right if you are right? But if you're wrong, who's gonna remember you're wrong? Obviously, for the first 2 months or so, oh yeah, who and who. But after that, history will say Bafana won. You know, so I think that's something that sometimes we need to teach ourselves. I think one thing that I realized with this
Yeah. What's happening? Sorry about that. Go
one thing
on.
that I've realized with this country is, sometimes I envy countries like the US. Those people have what you call true patriotism. We lack that in SA, but that's fine. I think one conversations that I think I'm going to be repeating multiple conversations that we have had on multiple streams. Firstly, Umvala. We always say Mvala is the unluckiest player.
Yeah.
He will play the whole game well, and just one thing, and not intentional. Just one thing goes away. So I'm happy that the penalty didn't get in. And just like that Angola keeper, was that Angola keeper? I guess Namibia, who handled that ball. If he didn't unintentionally got hold of the ball, they would have scored. A penalty is not a short thing, like Suarez demonstrated to certain people. And yeah, man, honorary mention to Kekana also, and I think those are the guys that I want to mention. But for me, I want to answer your second question. I think I'm more interested in your second question than the game. The game, I'm happy. People know that I've been supporting, so I've been celebrating for too long. This feeling is just nothing new, man. It's nothing new. So I'll let you guys celebrate. It's your time. Some of us have been here for some time, so I'll let you guys have that. But Sir Alex said, attacks wins you games, but defense will win you titles, And I think you, as an old school coach kind of lover, you would appreciate our defense,
Yes.
And there is something that I want to ask, and I'm not making this about Sundowns, and I keep saying to people that Sundowns players don't have the God-given right to hold the South African identity card. They don't have that right. Some are foreigners. So those who are there are South Africans. But my point is, an honest conversation between me and you, is Sundowns strong offensively or defensively this season?
This season, defensively, much better than attack.
Yeah, and I think that's a reflection of how the game is evolving. People have this notion that Sundowns plays this pretty football, but I think for me, this season, Ulani is not playing that kind of football.
We've been talking about that, yeah.
He's playing winning football, and I think we have to get to a point where you understand that this thing is not entertainment. Is result orientated, And to answer your question, are we willing, or are people willing to accept this football? Not really, but the only cure for ignorance is education, So I think sometimes you have to educate people that this thing, who came up with this thing called philosophies and what,
Yeah.
Someone just said the only way for us to win gradually and in an organized manner is to just organize ourselves and come up with systems, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the basics are always simple. Last time I spoke of winning, that a game of football is about scoring more than the opponent and conceding less than the opponent. So today I just want to talk about a simple thing called space. Last game between Tunisia, we had a problem with Otau,
Yes.
Because what we thought was
positional discipline.
Positional discipline. And yesterday I looked at Otau again, and I looked at Umukwena. I think this is an intentional thing by Hugo Broos. Because last game was versus Tunisia, we planned on taking the fullbacks. What is that guy's name? Malul, right? So this time around, we said, okay, we want to attack the fullbacks because Mazraoui and Hakim will overload, So the plan, and I said this before the game, that I would love to just stay there, don't come back. But Hakim was ignoring him and he was coming back, So they overloading us and they ignoring our warning that we want to pin Hakim back. So what Tau did during the game was he pushed back and supported Umudiba. But what that did was, because Morocco, what they do is they overload the size, the wide channels and the half spaces and the box. They leave spaces at the back. And in the middle, they are hollow because you only have Amrabat. So what Broos did, and was genius of him, he was like, okay, Tau, don't play the free role. Umukwena play that role. Hence, Umukwena was all over the field, And I like that. And if you look at it, our chances came from Hakim's side because we
and the
put in
red
that
card.
side. and the red card, So sometimes the reason why you play good football, and this is my last point, is you want to create space,
Okay.
So when space is already there, why are you insisting on creating space that is already there? Just exploit the space, play simple football, go there, and that's what worked for us, So I think for me, that was the most important or genius thing about this game, that Broos was able to see that in the middle, Morocco was narrow. They may have players, they were hollow, So what you do is Ositole and Mokoena, one of you, be free, and that was a tactical good decision by Broos. And his decisions to bring Umasek and others spot on. So yeah, I'm happy for the boys.
Okay. No, agent, thank you so much. Hey, people must listen to the old shows, man. We've got so many answers for things, but it's fine. PK, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you? Yeah, just wait. Let me just see. PK, are you still with me?
I'm with you, my brother.
There we go. I can hear you perfectly. How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah, man, we must be happy, man. We've struggled, eh? Sibegezile with Bafana Bafana, man. We must be happy now.
Yeah, I think on that point of Sibegezile, maybe we can check it and maybe reassess it to say, what do we mean, Galas Begezel? I just learned something from Hugo Broos.
Yeah.
To say, shut out any outside opinions where people, they don't know what is happening behind the scenes, what you are seeing. Your job is to see players for who they are, not what the crowd says they are.
Yeah.
And play what you believe. That's one thing that I have learned from that guy. For the longest time in the era of Abo Pereira and other coaches who came, the influence of South Africa, it's like we are these Egyptian guys who always go and tell what is wrong here and here and here. We are similar to them. But yesterday I saw a man who is willing to fight for his philosophy towards football, and the philosophy of not listening to political football that influence the results of Bafana Bafana, to say, why didn't you take 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3? I am glad. I am a Sundowns fan, you know that, but I'm just happy for what the country is doing. It's the true reflection of who we are. In fact, Samuel Eto'o, I just saw in the headlines, he says, but South Africa was supposed to be the powerhouse of football in Africa because they have the resources. Their PSL is on the top notch. What is happening? And honestly, the love and the hate that we have for one another is the one that has been killing South African football. Yesterday, this guy believed that Evidence Mokgopa, when it was undesirable for South African to put him in that position, he put him. He scored for us. Someone said Motwa is better than Williams. He put him in those polls. They said Mvala is, for the first time I see Mvala making a necessary penalty. Yesterday it was necessary. It was a necessary penalty. If I look at the highlights and watch how this ball was going inside and Williams was flat-footed and it went to the hand of this guy. And if those guys could have scored, they were going to come full force for us. But at least it was a necessary. I just saw soldiers yesterday who were fighting for the country, who were ready to fight for the badge. Although I have my tactical issues.
Yeah.
I do have my tactical issues, especially when Hakim was just on N12. He reminded me when we were playing against Al Ahly and Pesi exposed Mudiba in that position, and we decided tactically to say we're gonna push him in the middle center, in the middle field because of that. Yesterday he was exposed in the very same thing. I just wish that our technical and we can't put everything on Broos all the time. What is Helmel Mukelele doing for the squad? What is the technical doing for the squad? It's just that when you are a leader, sometimes you are the forefront of everything. So I'm glad we won, guys. For the longest time we won, and we won with someone who is out of politics, someone who is doing what he believes is best. And what a beautiful goal. What a beautiful goal from Mokoena. We saw the attempts. This is the players we need, guys. We need. And I'm glad that we are shifting slowly to that position. I wish the predecessor or someone who will come after Bruce will have that attitude of saying, I'm not going to listen to South Africa. I am here. I'm watching PSLs. I know the players that I need. And that person is not influenced. Immediately, first game, Kulu was offline, and this guy says, okay, now I need to be solid on the back. Let me take people who are used to play with one another. And yesterday, people have been criticizing Kekana and saying, yeah, he's slow, whatever, this. And sometimes when we analyze, our biggest problem is that we fail to understand that we are playing against another opponent.
Yeah.
But the intensity of yesterday, how we were pressed yesterday, and how we adjusted to that pressing, I don't think there is a team that can press us now, and we are fearful, especially in this stage. Let us go support the boys, Bafana Bafana style. Well done to them, great to them. What a football! But I said Bafana Bafana style. What's wrong now?
Non c'ha senza, Maralune la rata di shot di Akaletsiva. Para.
But what a beautiful win, guys. I was glad. I was glad. Thank you so much, Uti.
Thank you, TZ. PK, sorry. TZ, are you with me?
George, how are you, man?
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Tell me, what do you think about this Bafana team and how they played yesterday?
Sorry, say that again. I just lost you for a second.
What did you feel about the game yesterday?
George?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, no. Thanks again, man. Yes, I'm with you now. Yeah, look, man, it was a great game. I think it was what we'd call a war of trenches, it was in the trenches. I think this was probably the most tactically disciplined Bafana performance we've seen in years, probably in years. I think Bruce got his tactics spot on. And then on top of that, the application from the team in general was superb, was absolutely superb. I think, if 70% of the earth is covered with water, 30% is covered by Tebogo Mokoena, based on last night's performance. He was quality. He was quality last night, man. Like, he was all over that pitch. He was, he was part of the attacking side. He was part of the defensive side. I mean, I think the fitness coach at Sundowns is doing something special with those guys, man. And also Ustole, he started slow against Mali, but we've seen him grow in the tournament. And he was excellent as well. He helped a lot with Mudau because of that the double overlap that they were doing, or overload rather, they were doing on his side. And yeah, the defensive combination with Stoll and Mudau on the right hand side was very, very helpful. Then we had our warrior man, Mvala, without the bandage.
He loaned the bandage to Kekan.
Yeah, because the Toby Mvala I love is the one with the bandage, man. When he has that bandage, is something else. But there was no bandage yesterday, but he was still something else. He was fantastic last night. Outside of that penalty, which I don't really think it was a bad mistake. He tried to clear the first ball, he missed it, and he was trying to balance with his hands. And that striker was so close to him, it hit him on the head. He could not do anything about that. Lucky for us, and we do need luck in football, in tournaments. It hit the pole. And yeah, we managed to see this game off. That was a fantastic win. Tactically fantastic. I think also character-wise, attitude-wise, application-wise, mentality-wise, that was fantastic. And I think I feel that it's a good thing that Umakhopa scored, because he must be mentally and physically exhausted from all the stuff that he's been hearing. And when you watch all 4 games Bafana Bafana have played, I think he's probably the most fouled player in the team. How many aerial duels has he been involved in? How many tackles has he had to take facing his own goal? How many times has he had to turn and run into space? He's had to do so much. He deserved that goal last night, because purely on work ethic, Makhopa has been amazing for Bafana Bafana in this tournament. Well, so far so good. This Bafana Bafana team for me is far better than the 2019 one that made it to the quarterfinal, because with this one, you can actually see how we're going to manufacture goals outside of a transition or a set piece. You can actually see the goals are there, because under Baxter 5 years ago, we were waiting for transition. The famous Tembiko Siloch goal against Egypt, transitional goal. We were waiting for set pieces. We were very, very defensive. But this Bafana Bafana team is not that defensive at all. It's
Okay.
very, very positive in its own way. It's very good defensively again. So we can mix it up a bit. We can change the tempo a little bit. You know, we still have some cracks to fix up. You know, I think every time we take off Zwane, I feel like we lose something in attack. You know, and once we can sort that out, I suppose it's something Bruce has to sort out going forward after the Afcon. But if we can sort out that Zwane position, because he's not gonna play 90 minutes anymore.
Okay.
Once we sort that out, I think we could have something. We're on the right track, man. And as I said to my mate, we were watching the game yesterday. 3 games to go. Three more games to go.
But very quickly, I like that you guys are using the example of saying that this is like war. And I think to go with that metaphor, when we think about war, man, sometimes we think of a war, Call of Duty, running, hey, yes, it's just fireworks everywhere. Whereas war is usually the trenches. It's very slow, tough, and you have to grind it out, and you can't take risks. Are we ever, as a South Africa, going to come to, as South Africans, are we ever going to come to maybe an admiration of that type of football?
Sure, that's tough because a lot of people want, you know, the football that we grew up on with the skills and the flair and that all of that. But the reality is that never wins on African football. Let's be honest. You look at how people have been winning CAF, what type of football they play. It's a war of attrition, literally, bro. And once we as South Africans start to accept that beautiful football, there's places for it, then there's places not for it. For example, when we played against Angola, we were beautiful. It was a beautiful display because it was an opponent that we are better than. But in this game, you can't play beautiful football against those guys. Those guys are world-class footballers. Let's be honest, world-class operators. So we need to understand when to apply it and when not to apply it. And it goes with just understanding the game of football, when to and when not to.
Okay, no. Tisi, thank you so much for joining me, my brother.
Oh, wait. Sharp.
Let's go to Utlux.
Hey, OT, how's it?
Kilo Askomota, man, today. Did you just, in memory, in honor of Bafana Bafana?
Askomota is big. And, you know what? I was checking the social media today. Hey, Morocco is in trouble. I wonder where that girl, what Ronaldo, where she is right now. Because the whole world was vibrating because of that Mokoena celebration. Yeah, it just seems like Rapayas Kelam sa Ronaldo, no.
How did you see the game?
No, the game, I think we need to make a distinction maybe, or maybe an understanding as football supporters. Or actually, the question is, what is beautiful football?
Yeah.
What is beautiful football? Because I think you can go all around the world. Let's say, for example, Manchester City is playing its own football. Ne?
Yeah.
If it works for them, it's beautiful as it is because it brings the results that they desire. Ne? You go to Liverpool, they play. There's like you can draw distinctions between all these teams. And then there was this, if you have checked, what's this team? Brighton in England. There's this thing that they do, like as Bafana is doing. They will play the ball at the back, build from the back and deep. They play those risky passes and then they allow their opponents to come and they absorb the pressure and then they counter on it. And they do it so beautifully. So for me, I think we need to accept like the football that Bafana is playing now, and view it maybe as our identity somehow, because it's bringing the results that we are desiring, and then we can see what they are trying to do, and they are doing what we see. Say for for example, there's like a common play between like how they played against Marlin, because we were complaining that they are playing too deep and what, but now they're doing the same thing, but they are quick to put the ball forward, to play it on an empty spaces. But it's just that the awareness has increased on their side, but they are still playing the same thing if you check. And their football it's like it's deceiving to the eye of the opponents. Our opponents, we appear as that weak team when you look at us from afar, and then and you only find out when you are on the field that it's going down here. And I think what works for us is that the football they play, they are able to like quench the heat that the opponents are able to bring, and the way they do it is like they finish the guys off, even mentally, psychological. Our opponents, if you can check Morocco yesterday, around 80 something, after that penalty, leading to that penalty, they were tearing down. And after the penalty, they just went down, flat. And you gotta give it to the type of football they are playing. And if it doesn't, because it seems like what we don't like, we use our Man City as our maybe barometers to the football that we want. But I think this guy has his own style, Hugo Broos. We are not just going there to play in J. There is strategies and there is a sort of play that he wants Bafana to play. And we heard even from the what you call press conferences after the match that he's happy how these guys played. I think this is the type of football, and he's doing it beautifully. If we look at it at his own eye, that's what I wanted to allude to. So let's just relax a bit with what we want, and let's allow, like with the other speakers that have spoken, let's just allow him to do what he wants, because we have to, even though you're against it, but you must understand it, because we can see that they are doing what they have planned. And then with Mahopa, I'm not going to be like to join the trumpet. Mahopa, the guy is playing well.
Yeah.
But we can't shy away that Mahopa is a developing player. Yeah, he is developing. He will be at his best at some time. But for now, he scored, but I'm not convinced. But I think he can still offer more.
Hey. Looks.
Because you know why? There's a ball yesterday, where he was making a run into the 18, and then he should have just placed his body between the ball and the defender, and we could have won a penalty there. So he allowed the defender to sway him off the ball, and he was the closest to that ball. So I think he is a developing player, and he will get there.
No, my brother. Thank you so much for joining me, my brother. Thank you so much. Before I let you Xolani in, do you know what's nice about today? And I think what's nice about Bafana Bafana, if you guys remember way back when Bafana Bafana was doing Bafana Bafana things, when they weren't qualifying, they were playing badly, the types of conversations we were having were very different. I like that the worries that we have now are tactical in nature. The worries that we have is just, no, guys, we have to find a way to make sure that we can go out and win the matches that we are in, that we might have some things that we might want to do differently. Back in the day, basically, Bafana Bafana, there was no time for tactics and for these conversations because it was tough. So that's also a good thing that I think we should look at. And really also from that point of view say that Bafana Bafana, they're doing a little bit better now. Tolani, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alright, Mr. Utsi. I'm alright, Mr. Utsi. How are you, my guy?
I mean, I'm feeling like a quarterfinal team.
Yes, I'm pitching like the it's humble pie, I'm a hopper in the glass la with tears, the Morocco. Morocco tears. If you say I'm not, I'm relaxing Parufo.
No, ipha uzoyidla after. Sala ngepapa, papa ngeMorocco sina yona. Qala.
No, Mr. Otsi, angilungise. Izolo first half ngicomplainile ngomahop. So wangayi pie. So I'm enjoying that pie. And I would like to encourage him to ukuthi aphinde aloke ezenza aloke wenza labo pie labo yabo. Because we enjoying them, Mr. Otsi. We are enjoying them.
How did you think the game went? How did you see the game?
The game went perfectly, Mr. Otsi. Although first half we see worried, like we always do as our fans of football. When we see a loophole with Messi supporter, we'll tell it straight. Like we were complaining about inside la Modiba is all. Although second half they were attacking more beside
Lagamodao.
You know why? Umodao is we are main mark. Unlike Umodiba will make sure that you won't find space to make it cross. Because second half cross so they couldn't cross the ball beside Lamodao. Lamodib. That's what I'm Mr. But first of all, Mr. Otsi, I would like to congratulate you, Hugo Broos, for proving us wrong. Inking I am now, Mr. Otsi, arrogance. No, prove a point. But Izolo selected the right players. Mr. Otsi, we need players with CAF experience. We need players try to look like conditions now. And we should give props to him for selecting those players. Players with winning mentality. Players and a petty fighting spirit. Players that dive on the field. That's what Mr. Otsi. Like Izolo, I'd like to also congratulate Umvala. And say God love us all, because I remember like yesterday, Mr. Otsi, when we considered that penalty, Mr. Otsi was like, what's wrong with Umvala with this Moroccan team? If they scores, they were gonna come for him, and God love us all. Why get Umvala? It shows Uguti. Penalties, anyone can miss them. Pesitao missed the penalty. Hakimi missed the penalty with PSG. He's been playing Champions League games. I'm told Mr. Otsi. So it's there. I can't fault anything for to pick up any negative. Mr. Otsi. There was a negative, but for now, for push a positive vibe. We say let's support Machita. Machita, they leave it all on the field. And it's a was what are we capable of? You haven't like given us that. So boy, encouragement. All in all, I'm proud of Mr. Otsi.
Okay.
Who's better than who's Sundowns. I mean, see.
Hey, Mara.
No, Bafana Bafana, Mr. Otsi. Excuse.
Then all of a sudden. No, but thank you, Kolani. Let's bring in Timo. How are you?
How's that?
Naki Munati, you call it quarter finally.
Yes, no. That's what I'm over the moon, Marajonaji. Bon, Patron job like tactics, and I agree with everything. So I don't want to repeat what they were saying. The guys, they were saying all those good things. But then let's go to this team that we beat, Morocco. Some people don't understand what kind of a team these people they are. When Bono, that's to make a Bono.
Yeah.
Bono Udala Al Hilal, previously from Sevilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bamurigilega, yo, ay. 10 million euros. Right back. Yeah, right back, Hakimi. This guy played for Dortmund, Real Madrid, Inter Milan, PSG. Top class. Center back, Aguero, whatever that guy they call it.
Yeah.
That guy currently plays at West Ham Premier League. The other center back, Saiz. Currently playing Ego Saudi Pro.
Yeah, Al-Shabaab.
But then, Ogaram check. The history of Premier League Wolves, so fit that at some point. Left back over the Mango. Hey, my never follow on them. Mazrui.
Yeah, Mazrui.
Hotel Ajax. Bargain. Bayern from Ajax. Top class. Amra Badram Zero. Fiorentina from Fiorentina to Menu. Top class team. Unahi Marseille. And then Amala. Amala welcome to who joga you know.
Amala to Valencia.
Valencia. Not so from Sundowns.
From Krakow.
From Krakow. Moshu work Adli job club official no working this what team?
Leverkusen.
This what team Leverkusen. And Nazara Ramzero was Sevilla, but the top player there and this guy is playing. And then Eza Boli, what?
Yeah, now you guys know Kifilajuan, Eza Zuli.
So this guy, Ugo Real Betis. Aso ngekebala wida Raja, hauna wida, hauna Raja, hauna Ali, hauna Zamalek, hauna Yengim. Top class. So people must understand it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Those guys, man, they are top class. So the boys played like a team, and yeah. Now I'm happy, but now I'm happy blind.
Bachelor, I relate batho from Kochebeni. Bomo kweb packed out. No baba khopa bamo.
Morocco.
Kira ko Pirates. Kira remlata mo packed out. Are palami flight. Ronar bata di play.
Yeah, so I'm football can kill you. This is what they mean. Oti.
No.
Push up.
Thank you.
Hola.
Talagazi, how are you? Oh. Talagazi. You can just unmute them, my brother. Oh, Nazo, how are you? Ingatiyakhatha man.
Oh, kuhle kunjani?
There we go. Ngikuzwa kahle now. Hayi mina ngimnandi. Last 8 right.
Yes, OT. Hey, OT. Hey, last night, the only thing that I like about the Bafana Bafana that we have now is the character now. Because the first game, they didn't take their opportunity.
Yeah.
And against Namibia, they took their chances. So there are meaning now, each and every chance, if they can use it, I'm telling you, will be champion of Afcon. If they can put this character, especially if you look at Mokoena and look at Mvala, those guys, Mvala is playing like Tinkler, if you know Tinkler. He's taking everything. Mvala is a dark horse, but nobody is appreciating him. But he's a good guy. He's shutting his mouth. He lets his work do. Kakhulu indlela adlala ngayo umkwena ugqiba lonke ibala from left to right. He's doing everything. So those guys, I'm glad for Hugo Broos to pick up those guys who are usually playing Champions League, especially from Sundowns. Now they are taking that influence to the national team, which is now, even if we add 2 or 3 players from other team, they will look at it, these players are champions in their mind. You see, so that's a building of a winning.
Yeah.
Team.
Are you still with me? Karen's
With the winning
cutting there.
players.
There we
So
go. There we
any
go.
team now, Bafana Bafana, that will come if they can use their chance. Yes.
I just want to ask you the
Thank you.
question. Ngiyakuzwa mara
if
ngathi yakhatha. You
they
can carry on.
like this, taking chance. Yeah, okay. If they can carry on taking chances, Zabo, they can do anything. So the only thing we need now is to support them, to give more confidence. Siyeke nje indaba ukuthi ama-politics in, but to support them so that these boys can come back with the cup. Look at the Springbok. Once they had Guti back at home, there is a support. They did everything, even if their game was bad, but winning for the nation. That is all is wanted now. Thanks, OT.
No, thank you so much,
Yeah,
my brother.
OT.
Thank you so much. Mtakababa velile. Nini wama-humble pie ikuphe yakho nathi kumele siyikhiphe.
Hayi mntakababa hayi. Mina nje okokuqala nje ngithanda ukuthatha leli thuba leli and thank the honorable minister uZisikodwa.
Akasiposta any speech sakhe this time. Akasiposta ukuthi utheni half time.
Yeah, just like making sure that after the loss against Mali, he went to that change room and tell the boys how they must play. So, regardless of what we think about the mighty African National Congress, we have to thank this son of the soil, the Honorable Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Zisikodwa.
Ndika campaign la man, ngeke na campaign la.
No, but no, on a serious note, yeah, I have to agree there naboxolane vele, and I knew vele ukuthi uyabuthi khutshwa no agent bazojabula vele ukuthi hayi vele I've ate my humble pie. Yeah, about saying vele ukuthi hayi asinda kodwa ngibuye ngayilungisa muthi masiqeda ukuwina last game ngathi hayi no musi that comment is null and void. And iMorocco ayikaze yahlupha kangako yona nje ayikaze yahlupha kangako ayifani nabanye, but the good thing good as the boys yesterday, they just made us proud. And I just love because you can see another thing that I just love about them is the team spirit, because if you look at the players that are on the pitch and the players that are on Abasepenjin, you can see how they support each other. The guys like above but they on the bench, you can see actually they are playing there, but bahlele ngaphandle. But and also yeah, I umvala yena cha ngimtholela isigqoko cha yena hayi izolo he was like a soldier for 14 banobhekana lapho I kumele ngibatholela isigqoko. The tactics were spot on. It's just a matter of there and there, and I like what we've said ngomahuba in most cases, because maybe you go to the Masimbona, the teams, they are not playing into his strength. Because yeah, now whether you like it or not, he's a good finisher of the ball, but he just tends sometimes to go to kube nzima ukuthi alicontrol ibhola and trap it, but yena maselihleli kahle he's a good finisher. We have seen him go Pirates sometimes amagoli akho when they put ball into his feet and ase 18 foot. It's just trying to in terms of like controlling the ball and just tripping pen. If you can get someone who can coach, practice that one, and just fix and polish that, I think he'll come all right. And also, man, if our coach can just fix the matter good left back as soon as possible, because izogcina isexposile okwamanje sisaxolelwe asikaphandishwa, but yona siyayibona yonke ukuthi ikhona imbobo ngale kithi ka left back. The sooner we just fix, I don't know how kusingadlalisa bani, because if uyabheka vele uObrimodiba nakuSundowns abasamdlalisi lapha yana, they've pushed him up. It's not a left back anymore, so if we just fix that, I think kuzohamba kahle ngoba laba abasele into engithusayo manje yilaba esizodlala nabo manje ngoba ngathi siyabanyaza and
yeah
yibo abantu ekumele sifike ngabo ushow laba abosibali laba ezizodlana amaqeda ukudla laba hayi abosibali abahluphi laba yabo abahluphi inkinga kuzoba yilabo Saturday ne
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hey, but nale khefu ama-fixture wayo man ame ngenye indlela man kuthatha 7 days ukuze sidlale igame le manje kuthatha 3 days ukudlala i-final ngengaki
I-final
Hayi, man.
akusinge 11 Feb or something like that.
Okay.
I think so.
But i-PSL iqala ngeyi-13 futhi abasayifuni nokulinda vele
PSL didn't believe.
ngoba ngiyabona ama-advertiser kukhona amadoda adlala ngeyi-13 le so ukuthi kanti kukwenzakalani but and also man to add ukuthi enye into man with regards to our players angazi if phela amaplayer wethu ayadlala man amaplayer wethu amnandi amaplayer we-Sundowns shuthi abantu yabo Lucas Radebe ke aba-own ama-suite e-Leeds or any other guys abane-connection overseas kanti angeke bakhona ukuhlanganisela few South African abomvala wake ukuthi bangaze bangayiphesheya bafowethu abomkwena like really or maybe Sundowns ayifuni ngabe imali but I don't know some of the players here aba-South Africa bekumele ngabe sebadlala overseas ma ungathi uyabheka but yeah but so far, I think we have to congratulate Nakona Hugo Broos as much as stubborn as he is, really. He just sticking to his guns and said, like, this is the players I'm going to took, and I'm going to that tournament, and I'm going to fight with these players. And the good thing good about Msebenzele, because really if azange bamsebenzele hey beyobhek fire bikabi kabuhlungana ngoba but so far we are happy. And then another good thing ukuthi dlala on Saturday so vele noma sesingabheka kuze kuso on Sunday kulungile yeah
Thank you so much.
Okay Bafana nibe right now
sizakhuluma Saturday but let me bring it to Malubekuzo.
Mr. OT.
Hi man. You know, people are talking about very delicious pies.
Oh, but nah, yes, man. And but I don't want to dwell much on the humble pie, yes. Like, we are South Africans. I'm a fellow South African. I'm enjoying Mamelu Velile, you know. Tagababa 1 2 3 1 2 3. Saying sweet things about South Africa. You know, people are back to their senses. They know they are South African. And I've hit the chord. You said no, man. Let's not make it difficult for people to support. Please support, guys. This is your country. We need you. We must be as loud as possible. Be proud. Me personally, I want to go on record and say, for the first time, I think we must acknowledge Safa in appointing Hugo Broos. A very unfashionable decision to appoint such a coach. A coach who's very criticizable. If you look at, like, if that's even a word, if you look at his age, you look at him, you think, why would you appoint someone this old? And they still went ahead. Maybe it was a fluke, but I think they made a wise decision, and they're reaping the rewards. I mean, the fruits are there for everyone to see. One might say, but we have not won the cup yet. But all of this comes from the back of knowing where we come from. The dark days, which was very difficult. So I want us to celebrate our quarterfinals as if we've won the cup. It actually does feel like we've won the cup. It actually does somehow equate to winning the cup. And for the fact that this team has gone through so many changes, yet such consistency at the same time, we have to also acknowledge that there's a spine, and some players have kept to the spine, even though some of them are not playing as regular as they used to, but they remain within the team. They shape the team, they influence the players. The culture is good. We don't hear too many crybabies, if any. So we have to acknowledge, I mean, also the picking of Umunare. We are very thin in 16, Mr. Uti. The other players at least 6 is not fit, or was not fit to come. I think Kileru.
That's the guy who's been playing Nomkwena Nostole. It's been those three guys ever since. And at the back, we looked like we didn't have options. That's why we brought in Krankekana. It was Tibang Pete. I'm sure people have forgotten that it was Tibang Pete. I think he went to one of the Arabic countries, and I think then he had an injury which sort of pulled him out. And the one injury or the one exclusion that I think even it hurts Hugo Broos the most. It hurts me as well because it's down to my team. It's that of Innocent Mayela. You understand? We really need Innocent Mayela at left back. That is a left back who plays left back down the line. Buyo Maka, who contributes in height. Naibamtata is a kind of game Morocco, but that is one position I feel which a Pirates might have messed us up with whatever situation that's going on with Mayela. You understand? So all in all, Mr. Oti, are celebrating as South Africans. Let's not doubt. If someone is asking you why you celebrating Ikwata final Gangaga, please just tell them which is Puma Utegabi. If someone is telling you hey, it's all Sundowns, that person has no context whatsoever. I would always say it's not Sundowns that feeds Bafana Bafana. It's Bafana Bafana that feeds Sundowns. Those players were Bafana Bafana players before they signed for Sundowns. Mokoena was there integral, a vice captain before he signed for Sundowns. Umvala moves from Can I just fix?
Yeah, I think there's just a problem there. It's just a problem.
Clear?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I think it's proper now. Umvala comes in already. He was a squad member. Bafana Bafana. I'm just happy, Mr. OT. Let's just celebrate. Umuntu went to Pirates. Mahopa was already part of the system before he joined Pirates. Munaro has just got there. But let's just celebrate as a country. We are one, Mr. OT.
Okay. No, thank you, Madame Kuto. Let me bring in Tepak.
It's a shapuzit.
Nakim nati man. Ki wineka moleka kwa yesterday ki sharp.
Hey, manje mama neli di kai, neli di tete. Look, guys, I think yesterday, let's not shy away from the fact that a lot of people, there are some, let me not say a lot, there were people that didn't believe we were gonna make it, and fortunately, because of the team spirit, the team did it. What I like about yesterday is that, when the team is not playing well, the only thing a team must do is to increase their work rate. Because somewhere during the game, our work rate alone benefit and good thing. Look at the goals that we scored. Look at the second one. It's just hard work. That guy was caused the ball by Issa to a different direction. He went all out. Protected the ball by Mupusha. Free kick. You see? It's just hard work. As long as the team is not playing well, the team is couple work rate. Somewhere in between. Benefit that thing. There is
isn't that before you move on, isn't that one of the most surprising things? Because Kupula came in Namibia and I think Tunisia as well, where even I was thinking there's no way Bafana Bafana could do this for 90 minutes. And against Morocco even, Kuputsi came, and that work rate that you're speaking about, they kept it up for the whole game pretty much.
You know something, Elungure, I think it's working very well. Barcelona has did it against teams like Spain. They were using a lot of Barcelona players. These are players that have been playing throughout, putting in the work. It's the same thing. The core of our national team comes from a team where it's a week in, week out. It has played for a lot of players that are there are physically tip-top shape. But not in terms of physique, but fit. So in terms of putting up with that kind of a game for the whole 90 minutes, for me, it wasn't a problem. Or for Bon, it's not a problem because they're used to playing. However, one thing I've also noticed is that players like Bomudiba, because they are not used to that kind of pressure, they struggle. It's not that he's a bad player. It's just that against so much pressure on his side, was struggling. Why? Number one, get pressure. Number two, Pesita was not helping him. That's another issue. Mudiba, yes, he didn't play bad. It's just that only pressure and he needed assistance. Number two, second half, Mushishi played more. He received more of the ball. That's when we started playing. You know, so I think for us, it feels like the more we play, the more we get opportunities of scoring. The more we defend, if we play 90 minutes, we defend, it's like we are playing for a draw. But let's take the game to our opponents sometimes, guys. Let's just take that ball. I mean, we cannot stay 5 minutes rebatla ball, the next thing we lose in seconds. I've got a problem with that. So I think yesterday, in terms of our play, I think second half, they believe in that. I don't know what Hugo Broos did, but it looks like that guy is doing quite well. And anyway, the best coaches in Europe are arrogant coaches. Look at the guys like Mourinho. Those guys are very arrogant, but they get it done. That's what I like about the current coach that we have. Another good point is two players that did it good for me. Hey, this guy Baraki Modau, guys, and Mokwena. Guys, those guys, if Pasatama by Europe right now, I don't know what money. And that is the core of it. That is the future of this is what South Africa has built. You know, when I look at those two guys, I'm proud to be a South African. But let's see. Game for me is the one there Saturday. Hey, those guys. But yeah, let's take the game to them. Let us play our hearts out. 1-0 down.
No, thank you, Tsepa, for joining me there. Let me bring in Bushira. Bushira Coffee, how are you?
The OT.
How are you doing, man? Do you feel like a quarter-finalist?
Emunda, I remember back then when we just qualified for the Afcon, I was on this platform and we were discussing how far we think Bafana Bafana is going to go. And I told you, Bafana Bafana is going to get to the quarterfinals. Many said group stage, you will be out in the group stage, but I told you Bafana Bafana is going to get. And I mentioned one thing, sometimes. You see, but the way we play football in South Africa is different from the way the rest of the African continent plays. So because we are not physically gifted, so we tend to use more tactics than the physique. So our game is not physical, and that is what is confusing a lot of opponents that we play against in Africa. Especially the North Africans, if you look at a lot of North African teams, they struggle to beat Bafana Bafana because they can't plan against the type of football that we play. They struggle. The Egypt, you can name them. And one thing that the coach is able to do now is he is able to blend in tactics and work rate.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at Bafana Bafana and the likes of Namibia, if you look at the Namibian team, those guys, they are workaholics. The work rate is high, but in terms of tactics, their tactical ability, they are not that sharp. That's why they couldn't make it. And again, when you look at a team like Cape Verde, that's why I'm confident to reply better let this Capo Verde because if you look at Capo Verde as well, same play like Namibia. They run, those guys. They run hard and they push, but tactically they are not able to like slow down the game and. You know, when you need to cool down the game, they don't know how to play that type of football. That's why I think, or you know what, if we play like how we played against Morocco, where we controlled the flow, we slow down play, you attack in phases, with ease. And again, Mudiba's side is weak. I don't think is really weak. But if you look at the way Morocco plays, those guys, they play in phases, and they overload the wing side, carry phases. So first half they were overloading. They were playing with 4 players, citing Lamudiba, if you noticed. And then second half they changed. They overloaded side La Mudau with 4 players. They play in phases. And it's difficult to play against such a type of football. I think we must just commend the coach for being able to counter that and for making sure the players are focused at all time up until the 90 minutes. And I also look, as much as we can run away from fact Yauri, the crux of the team comes from Sundowns, and that mentality, that fighting mentality is there. Look, I'm not a Sundowns fan, but let's also give thanks to the fact Yauri, at least we got a strong team from Sundowns that is able to fight. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
I know, my brother, we be listening to more. Hey, work rate, man. Work rate. Something that's overlooked. Thank you so much, Puchida.
Yeah, sharp.
Buyo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Sure.
Do you feel
Sure.
Go is komota today, just in just to be in support of Bafana there.
Yeah, I'm very happy and congratulations to each and every player who's there and everyone who's supporting the boys. Even though, let's be honest, none of us we have that full confidence that they can beat Morocco. No. Yeah, the squad is good of Morocco, but I also want to remind some of the. Okay, OT, get the credit. Who cares?
Who cares, man?
So let me say, reminding people, let's give credit when it's true. Patrick Mtsipe play a big role in South African football. Play a big role in South African football. Why I'm saying that? Those Sundowns players, 7, 6, that are willing to combine those touches, to have a good back line, to have everything that we have there. It's from Sundowns, so there are use of playing together and winning trophies together as a team. Even the Morocco coach, if you remember, Oti, when they came here in South Africa, you remember these guys after they lost the game. He said, South Africa, if they can go with this same mentality, with this goalkeeper who can pass the ball from the back, the way they play. William is good, guys. Let's not take the credit away. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to Mtsipe for me. Thank you for Mtsipe for doing everything, because we need a team to compete in Africa, to face, to play where there is no supporters, but you're willing to play, to face all of those reality. Because without him, I don't think so we can do whatever it takes. Yes, I know that Orlando Pirates done a similar thing long time ago, the likes of the late Senzo Meyiwa.
Yeah.
But OT, you know what I'm talking about. At some point, I was at school that time. It was a joke. You say, this guy doesn't know anything about football. What can he tell us about football? He will buy players. Sundowns used to spend money for useless. I used to be in tears at some point as a supporter of Sundowns.
I remember there was a season where you guys signed 15 or 17 players in one win, and I was like,
Yeah, so OT, to build a team, it doesn't take over a night. But look at the team now, South Africa as a whole, they are doing well. We're doing well. We are proud. We are a South African. Because Bruce, if you don't have a team like, as someone said, a Barcelona team players, or Bayern Munich team players, it won't be easy to make a strongest team.
Yeah.
With if you call Foster, you will say no, I'm not coming, I'm not feeling well. So you see something like that. You don't these days you don't need to go to Europe to being the best players in the world. Africa has got money. Mohamed Apotrika, if you remember Mohamed Apotrika, he never go in Europe. But he was the best player in the world and people they know him. He rejected a lot of offer from Europe. Why? Because of his culture.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so Mina, I believe we're doing well. We can win this cup. Like simple.
No.
With these
my brother.
players, with discipline, with hard work.
Okay, no, my brother.
Yeah, they are all right.
Have your last point.
Sure.
Have your last point.
I'm saying we can win this trophy.
I know, let's
Yeah,
win.
yeah,
I
I
win.
believe. Yeah, okay. Hi. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, my brother. Let me bring in Kumo. Kumo. Can you go bablela batora man Bafana Bafana is strong man.
I get never targa half. Especially lumungwa lawyer slash Uber driver slash I don't see. Mark Nobile, like you muditse, give a buditse, carnara semi final long final. I put Roga half. So, my guy, Sundance to get the first team to beat Morocco at club level and also at country level. I'm excited. I'm so excited for my team, man. I'm so excited for Bafana Bafana. No, Mara, I get it. We are putting out there, my bro. And if you think I'm gonna eat humble pie and be humble, and that's it, na let's bargain. Bafana Bafana, we take Mali. But trouble never ever turns down to Kangal social media. Kangal no WhatsApp. I no. Yeah, so if you hell, so I'm gonna gloat. I'm gonna be happy. Banswara, Mara guys. On a serious note, like Benta aside. A lot of people like this Afcon, I think, has the most superstars globally, man. We got people that are playing Woody from Bayern Munich, Manchester United, or PSG. And the PSL that you guys look down upon on is able to actually beat the superstars on paper. Now I'm starting to wonder, if we can actually play like this, like our marksman in Pesitao, he's not shooting on all cylinders. I don't know what's happening. Lena maybe Otorege Lal Foster syndrome, maybe mental what's high. Now, Hannah, imagine like if he had to like no man. Man, which I understand the prestige of going overseas or I think Marajo guys PSL man it's nice, and it's not only because of what you call this South Africa, right? Level teams Zambia, how well they were playing, teams from Namibia, they played well, and some of them have their roots in the PSL. So man, yeah, so we shouldn't look down on what we have. We actually should be bragging more. We home-based players are doing better than these entitled European players. That's my other point. Then killing happen. Mara guys, the other advantage. I'm not trying to be negative, right? The other advantage that we had all over these people which was besides having the core PSL players, Nele happily the spirit, and that is what Cape Verde has, guys. Yo, that team I share. In fact, they share it more than Morocco and stuff because Cape Verde has nothing to lose. But in terms of like points tally, in terms of like rankings. On paper, we are the favorites. And going into a game of being the favorite, it's nice, but it's also scary because now we've got that element of Yeesh, you guys shouldn't mess up because you were busy slaying dragons, giants. Now you can be beaten by this small nation. And looking at our recent history, like I think head to head, we tied or beat one game. Mara, that was in the past. Like recently, they've been beating us. But yeah, man, I'm happy. I'm nervous. Like I'm enjoying this tournament so far. And yes, I'm that guy. I'm very petty because when it's our chance, but we're ready. So yeah, big up to Sundowns. Oh, and one thing that I've noticed, Hugo Broos. Hugo Broos, I give him rate, but one thing that I would give him is that this guy definitely watches our show, man. Because whenever he does things, it's the things that we speak about what he implements. So I can show so as a coach, because it's the face, kudos to him for listening to our show. But says Salani, but
There's an analyst there who's on TikTok when they're live there. There's an analyst there, I'm sure.
Thanks,
Kubo. Promotion. Promote this, are you there with me? You can just unmute. There we go. How are you?
Good evening, OT.
How are you doing, my brother? Do you feel like a quarter-finalist yet?
Yes, I was delighted yesterday, and as we were underdogs, man. So I was pleased with the result, the outcome of the game, and what the coach did. Because these Sundowns players, I'm an Orlando Pirates fan, but what the coach did to bring that solid defensive defender of Sundowns, because they've got experience, they play in CAF competitions, Yes, we were underdogs. I gave them the benefit of the doubt yesterday, so that I said no, Bafana, because we were underdog. We were underdogs, yes, if you could, because the Moroccans, they are the upper hand to us, So I was really pleased with the coach to bring that solid, experienced players who play CAF.
Yeah.
Yes, so yes, I was delighted yesterday, OT, at very last, yes, man.
So then tell me, are we ever going to love this football that we play? Because it seems a lot of South Africans, man, but half and half. Some people are happy with it. Some people are saying we need to be more beautiful. What do you think of that?
Yes, the people will always talk. Let us not politicize football, So because there is some who said they brought these Sundowns players, these Kaizer Chiefs. What? I don't like to politicize football, actually. So I think that we must have that patriotism spirit. We must rally behind the squad. Everyone must unite with non-racialism. As far as we supported the rugby, the non-racialism spirit. Even I still expect more whites to support football. As we supported Banyana, we supported Springbok, to show this patriotism spirit and non-racialism spirit. So we are still. No, we still expect more white people to come and support, to show rally behind this Bafana Bafana. You see, because we supported Springbok, we expect this white minority to come and support the Bafana Bafana, because this represents the South African flag, So I'm yes.
No, my brother. Thank you so much for joining us, Moses. How do you feel about Hugo Broos? Just before I let you go.
In overall, Hugo Broos, up to so far, he did all the best, because the criticisms that people talking about every day, they will always criticize the coach. We can't be 100% rally behind him. Because we are behind, like we are various supporters of various teams from different teams. Some they support we can't have a same mentality, same spirit. There will some who always criticize. Even politics, they will always criticize. In football, they will always criticize OT. So I think the coach, he did all the best to bring that solid defense of Sundowns to at least because they play together, they know each other. You see. Rather than to bring the different mix, the players, they don't know each other, they don't play together. We want that solid defense from Mamelodi Sundowns. They've got experience, they play in CAF, so I think, thank you, my brother, for
no problem.
giving me time.
Thank you for joining me, Moses. Thank you for joining me. Let me bring in Lou Alton-Tabi.
Hi, Otili guy.
Nna ke thabile Alton-Tabi, ke last 80.
Nna ke batlile ke shwa ke thabile wa tsa vandag.
Hey.
Wa tsa tabonyana ya ka maobane fela Bafana.
Yeah.
Today re batlile re kena accidenteng exciting bitso la yona ne tlo reng, but hey, it's
Ow.
fine. Mara he ntho e ke ratang nna haholo e ke tshepang e ke bonang e le ntho entle. Nna Williams ke a mo tshepa no matter hore batho ba ka dlala jwang ka ga game. Le ho yona ena me re yang teng. Ke trusta Williams hore ke keep the person o tla re saver or no matter what yena ke ena motho e ke mo tshepileng. Ha ke na taba le hore na Cape Verde e etsang ka bo etsang mara nna tshepo ya ka 100% ke beya hodima Williams because ke ena tlo re save.
Mara wa mo trusta Bruce, o fila jwang ka Bruce jwanong?
Na Bruce ha buhle bathong. Last mona ha na qala ha re surprise le tse o dlala nonsense football. A sa bui a etsang a ithuletse mon. Le no still ntse a ithuletse fela Bruce ha gase. O kwalletse molomo rona re a etse di change after half time fela. O nka nako ha ha ba tlo tseba hore na re fila jwang, but he yena e etsang ga e bona ya re sebeletsa ene re etsa happy. It is a happy. Rona ne re bona the way re bonang ka teng really crowd 90%, mara only 10% in the bona maybe re Bruce etsang. Rona ne re sa iboni e. But ra ibona no, ne re sa boni no ra bona.
Jalo o tlo reka kitenja.
Ke tlamele ke reke OT bile ntse ke re ke shebile guys ne ke shebile show ya rona hore ka morao ka mona stulong sa OT mola ma postileng ka mona ka mare tshwarelang show e ka go ka ba le flegenyana e kgolonyana mono ya Bafana Bafana ka morao. Ntho tsa tshwana le tseo ne ke itse ke tlo e bua ka go bontate ba ka mo ba tlo tine ya ke ba tseba ba go no rata etsa dilwampi.
Re tla etsa Sinthabi, re tla etsa one day.
Nna wa bona le hlolela Bruce le ne re sa le bone ga le bona hona jwale ene we are happy. Ke kopa batho ba tlwele hore ho etsa re nyekelwe ke dipedi kopa le tlwele go jotsa go Sundowns etsang re wa ka Bafana mo stop it.
Thank you Sinthabi.
Ba re nyekisa dipelo.
Sinthabi. Ricky Keye Ntabeleng. Ntabeleng, how are you?
I'm good. I know you, my brother.
I'm a quarterfinalist. I beat the #1 team in Africa. That's how I'm feeling.
Thank you, Hugo.
How did you see this game?
Oh man, I was so happy, man. I was like, once a team has a structure, bruv, and me, you know where you're going. Like when you lose, you're happy, man. I mean, remember when that guy took over, the Arsenal coach, when he took over, Mourinho said it, and everyone saw it. I mean, Hugo organizes those players like no coach has ever done with South African players. Most coaches can't set up players like that, and he knew one thing Sundowns players are. They're disciplined when it comes to position.
Yeah.
Like, man, what you can say, Morocco was there. But man, how those boys knew when how to create tempo ya game. Tempo. That's very important in the game of football. When to lose it, when to win it. I mean, even who you call Stolle. Stolle is not your typical midfielder. It's like Rodri.
Yeah.
Ashani around, but he's always on the ball. He knows how to win the ball. The boy intercepts almost every ball. I don't know how, but he does it. Even though Ungaro lazy, but he does it. He just does it. Yeah, I say in Hugo, Kekana, Mudiba, Mudau. Oh man, Mukwena, man. Mukwena deserves his flowers. We've got to say. And people talk about it now. I mean, in his days, Super Sport, the boy has always been good. He's always been good. So yeah, we believe. We believe.
Tell me, are we going to believe in this type of football as South Africans, or is Bruce going to have to come out every press conference and handle us and say, hi guys, we have got a lot of critics, as he said, but results are the results. Are we ever going to come around and just, give him flowers for that play that he's put in that might be ugly, but he's winning?
Melisibe Storm, me. Do we want trophies or do we want beautiful football? We have to choose.
Yeah.
And like you have to choose. You have to choose. If he was to say we're playing like this and we're winning the final tomorrow, I'll take it. But the problem I have with this tactic, is that what if the team scores first? I think we're gonna struggle. I don't see us coming back if a team scores first. I love Hugo, but the way he plays, it's like the boys are used to it. So we have to depend on those balls that fall like for Reina. But if a team like, you saw what happened with Mali. They scored first. We had a problem coming back in the game. We didn't even show signs of that we are gonna come back in the game. So that's the problem I'm gonna have with the way we play.
Okay.
But as long as they don't score first, I'm good with it. But yeah.
Okay, no. Tabelek, thank you so much for joining me, my brother. Madala 705, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Mr. Oti.
Hi, man. Today we've got there's something, man. Eh?
Kune vavavamu.
Yeah, man. We wanted to get my brother.
No, bra. No, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, no, I think we're good now.
Ikemezolo, it was marvelous, bra. Like it was like top notch. I love the application. I love ngendlela Majita as are responding akona, even though they were under pressure and under so much criticism. But irresponsible, it was marvelous. It was marvelous. The only thing that I think is shire it's substitutions. Amasabwethu bazogcina babona ukuthi wakhona okay. Bazosibamba la, bangasibamba la besibambe la, because it seems like we've got a core team of starting 11 and then amasabwethu now futhi akwazi ukwarate ukuthi mabe change lo abafaka bani. Change lo abafaka bani. So meaning ukuthi asina bench lele lisingathi li strong. You understand? Kunama individuals nje esiwazi ukuthi okay mabe keep uzwani bofaka ubani, mabe keep ubani bofaka ubani. If ama team akwazi ukustarta leyo nto sizolimala.
Okay.
But then, nonetheless, I think we are on the track. We're on the track, man. We're on the track. I've got a very, very bad network. I've got a very, very bad network, Lana. I think I'm the one who's breaking.
No, my brother. It's okay. Let me see if I can still get you for one last point. Will South Africans ever accept?
It's OT.
I think we've got an issue there. I tried to bring you back. Madala, we're gonna come back and properly get you on next time. Londa, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yo, my network is bad, bro. My network is bad.
Yeah. I think we're still dealing in network yaga Madala. But let's try. Londa, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good, winner.
Mina ngimnandi man, uma quarter final.
Yeah, at least isifikile mfethu isifikile.
Uyibone
Yeah,
njani
though
game?
ngiyanizwa niyakhuluma. Yeah, game yona beyisharp though sinama problem inyana ne. The way ngiyibona ngakhona, let me start here. The issue of we playing too many players from Sundowns. If ever people will just stop with those critics, like Spain won many games. Idlala nga 10 players is Barcelona. They only had Iker Casillas from Gabon. Yeah, so if the results are there, let the boys play. But for a game izolo, yeah, I had a problem nyana ngomudiba izolo. Kancane, but yeah. Because even if you're gonna check the yellow cards on our center back, it was net late respond kamudiba. Then Okekane have to cover him. So yeah. The only problem being otherwise the boys are on point. Like ngibona sine team this time.
So will we ever accept this ugly football as South Africans?
If the results are there, my bro. The smart football yenza lutho. Let's get the results. Let's get the win. Because in like now we are in a competition. In competitions you need a win. You don't have to be smart. You need a win to go to the next round, to go to the finals. You need a win. So if you get goals, you go. Yeah, then that's it.
Okay. No, thank you so much, my brother, for joining me. You must jump on more often.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Let me go to Usinje with the burner. How are you? Yeah, Sinje.
Hello, Pratochi. Can you hear me?
There we go. I've got you now.
I'm not sure whether my network it's okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm just gonna come straight into it and say, how did you see the game?
First of all, let me say, Minana Pezulu, Aw Masantawana. Yes. Let's start there. Let's start there.
This is why I like that you come in at the end of the show, because I know you.
First and foremost, Morocco played very well. I think connecting passes, finding each other even into the final third, lacking in terms of the quality of the crosses, lacking quality at the final third. I am very worried that all opponents that we have faced have managed to have a ball Fernandez in front of them with no defender inside. And all of those times they've not capitalized in those moments. And I am very worried that it's going to happen to a team that is very clinical in front. I am very worried about that. I'm happy that finally we have managed to score 2 goals against a country that has players that don't play in our league. Very good. That this is our first credible win in this Afcon. We can't Abo Salolile play with us, Siabaz. The Bonge or Hot Top or 4 or 5. Good. It demonstrates, Mr. OT, in terms of, I hear people are saying Sundowns. Let's be honest. The team Bafana Bafana, it's got title contenders, title holders, and trophy holders. That's the team that is a Bafana Bafana. Now they are competing against the title contenders, title holders of different countries. It's good to see now we are actually playing people that we are supposed to be playing, and we see where we are. Well done, big win, big upset for me to beat Morocco. That is known to be very, very high up. But as I said, I am very worried that all our opponents defense and have an opportunity to We've been lucky that they have been missing. But anyway, we won without Umvala pouring any blood. Hey, so the snake must be very hungry. I am going to come out as to whose blood is going to be. Umvala must just help us as a country and just cut himself once and for all, so that the snake, when it wants its blood, it does not drink too much. Yeah, anyway, Basantawana. Oh, one last thing. Tebogo Mokwena's agent would be failing him if he doesn't secure a club for him in the big leagues outside the country. I think the boy is demonstrating that he's showing his quality. His agent must do his work. Vala, continue. The snake, I'm sure it's 30 by now.
I see. I'm just gonna take you off. Okay, guys, look, we're at the end. I don't want to belabor too many points. We spoke about a lot of the things. Were there weaknesses in the game last night? Yes, they were. The left-hand side is usually an issue. Tembazwane was offline in the first half because of the way we were playing. Mahopa sometimes gets lost in the sauce when we're playing against these teams and we're playing the way that we're playing yesterday. But at the end of the day, the result is the result. And I think I am one of those people who has been calling for, not calling for, I've been advocating for us to put the result over the football sometimes and say that, you know what, guys, nobody expected this to happen. Nobody expected us to win this game. Nobody expected us to get out of the last 16, or even out of the group. So I think for me, that is incredible. And for me, I want to give Hugo Broos all of the flowers. I want to give that team all of the flowers because I think one of the things we tend to disregard is it must be so hard to go into a tournament not having that full support. I remember Ronald Williams was outside talking about how they can't get people in the stands. People don't care about Bafana Bafana. People always say bad things about them, which rightfully so, but it must be hard. And to go there and find your own inspiration, your own motivation to go and win those games, I think it's an incredible thing. And I think at this point, like I said in the beginning, this is where we should start supporting them. Win or lose, by hook or by crook, this team has performed. This team has qualified for Afcon. This team went into the group stages, came out of it, and beat the number one country in Africa. For example, with the things that they've put on the table. It's not just Eswatini, it's not just Lesotho, the things that people are always saying. Do we have questions about the players that are chosen? Sure. But the players that are there are doing the job. And let's let the compliments be as loud as the disrespect. And I'm going to start by saying that I am fully behind this Bafana Bafana team. Yes, we may criticize, yes, we may say some things, but I will never be malicious in what I say. We're looking at this Bafana team that is doing better than we had ever thought. I know I did the show a lot about Bafana Bafana. I'd ever thought Bafana Bafana could do. So thank you to them. Shout out to them. Can we spam them and harass them with our love on socials as we spam and harass them when they do badly? And also, guys, create some room. Create some room. Some people may not be able to change their minds as easily as some of us have had to. Let's not make this Bafana Bafana thing and I told you so thing. Let's make it, you know what? Welcome, my brother. You're finally seeing the light. Welcome, my sister. Welcome, whoever. You're finally seeing the light, or you're finally coming around because they're doing the business, they're getting the results. And for all those people that have been having Bafana Bafana because it hasn't been winning and all of that stuff, here we are. Now show us that it was about the results and not about something personal. Hugo Broos is not my favorite coach in the world, but he's doing the business. So kudos to him. Kudos to the players that are playing. Let's make space for other fans who may be changing their minds, who want to jump on, and maybe they're held by their old opinions that they had. So let's jump on the bandwagon and let's support this Bafana Bafana team as we take on a Cape Verde on Saturday. Thank you so much to everybody that joined me. Thank you to the people in the comments. Thank you to MK, Abuti Kutso, GT, Kolani, Velile, and PD Jokes for the gifts. Thank you to the people who are watching on YouTube and are watching on Facebook. Thank you so much. I'll be back again tomorrow, 7 p.m. And we'll speak about some other things as well. This is not just a show where we review stuff for those who are new. We also talk about some things that are happening in South African football and African football. So please join me there. Remember, the show is on every Monday to Thursday at 7 p.m. and also Friday at 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also do me the favor of following the Facebook page, subscribing to the YouTube channel. And if you want to be part of our WhatsApp group where we debate things even further and go deeper into some of these issues, some of the topics, we speak all day. We don't have time constraints. It's a very lively group. You can join that by heading over to YouTube, subscribing to the YouTube channel, but then also clicking on join. The lowest membership level is 20 Rand. And part of the perks is that on Fridays at 12:30, there are members shows. The members vote and decide what we speak about on Fridays. And it's a lot more open, more people jump in and they get to run the conversations and speak about what they want to speak about. So that's a lovely perk that we have on that side for those who are my breadwinners. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m.